my mom is on the panel, and I'm super excited, you guys. There was a praise dance, there are singers. I mean, this is really positive. So my mom starts to speak with the rest of the ladies on the panel. I will definitely be tuning in so you guys can see what my Saturday is like. This is wonderful, you guys. Sweet, sweet. All right, y'all. It's your girl, Shasta Lorraine. See you in a minute.
Women's History Month program. I hope you enjoy yourself. So take care, sit back and relax. And our mistress of ceremony is Minister Cheryl McKnight.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being a part of this year's NAN 2024 Women's History Celebration.
Cell phones back then. And a lot of people didn't have phones at all. And if they did, they couldn't afford long distance. So people would come to town in teams and they would let people know what was going on in the other cities about the movement so they would be encouraged. And if you never went to a mass meeting in a little town on a hot summer night, then we're going to take you to one right now. It's about 8 o'clock down in the Mississippi Valley in a little town called Ruleville. The meeting's already started, and there's a little tension in the air, a little fear in the air, because sometimes there's a high price to pay for going to a meeting. You could lose your home, your job. You could even lose your life. But tonight, the singing is good, and the fellowship is good, and a little lady makes her way to the front, and she faces the crowd and says, "My name is Fannie Lou Hamer." Now, when these here young folk asked me to speak tonight, I told them I wasn't no public speaker. But they said, "Miss Hamer, just come to us in your own way."
Perfectly flawed. I don't even know how I made it this far. And I'm asking myself questions like, why did I do it? Why did this happen to me? Then I said, you can get through it. You just have to believe what I do now. Gotta make it all count. So why not me? I'm the perfect person to go through the storm. It won't break me, it won't kill me, I'll move on. And then I'll come out even better than before. And I'll never see this place anymore. Cause my faith is getting stronger every day. I'm removing everything that's in my way. And the fact that I survived another day makes me say, why not me? Why not me? Why? Sing again, do it, sing again, yeah. Do it, sing again, do it, sing again, yeah. Do it, sing again, do it, sing again.
I am Latasha Williams, and I was invited to join the panel. I know her as Auntie Cheryl. She is a friend of my mother's, but I've known her seems like all my life. So my Auntie Cheryl. And I guess I didn't really prepare what I was going to say. I was just like, I'm just going to come and speak. But I guess I am. I was raised by a single mother. It's always been the three of us, her, my mom, and my sister. And I guess when I think about it, it's kind of just like it's always been the three of us, and we were raised to always be there for each other. So till this day, I take pride in that, and even though I am married, my mother is also married, and my sister has a significant other. I always hold on to that. It's always the three of us. So I guess just a little bit about me. I grew up in Cleveland until about fifth grade, and the summer of fifth grade, just the three of us, we moved to Philadelphia, away from our family and just what we were accustomed to or the life we knew. And we lived there for about 8 years. And just to think about how time has really gone so fast. I worked mainly in the healthcare field, in different hospitals. My first job was at OSU, and I moved back here to Cleveland, worked at Tri-C, and then I also had a position at Cleveland Clinic, which I thought that was gonna be my dream job. Although I did really enjoy working at the clinic. I now work for a healthcare IT company as a business analyst. Once again, following my mother's steps, who has been a business analyst what feels like my whole life. So I was very excited to be in this position because again, I really look up to my mother. And just to have this position, I felt like I kind of accomplished something because I think that my mother is very special. Sorry.
That's all right.
So that was just a big accomplishment for me because I always looked up to my mom, and I feel like she is a very successful person. So to be able to be in this role, even though again she has many years under her belt, I just feel like I am on the right track.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just feel like I'm also a person who I look up to all of the women in my life, and I'm kind of a person that if you tell me something and I've seen you do it and you've succeeded, I'm gonna listen and do it in my own way, but also however you've told me. I just really appreciate all of the women in my life and just being able to look up to them and following their footsteps for good guidance. So again, that's just a little bit about me, and I really do appreciate all of the women and men here today who are just good role models for the younger generation. I don't think it goes unnoticed, at least not for me, but I do want to be that person to let everyone know, even though it may seem like some people aren't listening, we see you guys and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
They asked me, who was I gonna represent?
I told them the old people. My preacher steward is there. That was the one that asked. How I got here. It's been a long journey. But Chinese, the song that you sang was meant for me. Because it was only through the glory of God that I'm still here. I worked my way through school while raising 4 children, plus 3 of somebody else's, working part-time sometime and going to school part-time, sometimes going to school full-time and working part-time. But I had some lovely kids who did everything, and they spoiled me. I did not have to wash, cook, or clean. Yeah, they did it all. And but God was good, because even through those times, taking care of my mother till she passed, my father, sister, and even my oldest son, taking care of all of them until they passed, I was still going through school, trying to work my way through with a associate degree in science, became a registered nurse, then went to Kent State and became and received a certificate in education. From there went to Ashland Theological Seminary and received a master's in psychology and counseling. And then to Trinity Theological Seminary, where I received a master's in divinity and a PhD. All of this while doing what I was doing. But I'm telling you right now, to God be the glory.
Afternoon. I was so blessed. I'm kind of comical. I'm talking about Brother Ernie. He does not know who I am, but I done brought all this up here and may not remember. So it let me know that we are all together. And my name is Antonia Williams M. And I am from Cleveland, Ohio. I have been here all of my life. I went to Cleveland Public Schools. And my mother, she was a young mother. By the time she was 23 years old, she had all 5 of us. And we left California, left my daddy there. And I thank God for my mother, because we came back to my grandmother. My grandmother was very strict but loving. She had 2 different birthdays, 1898 and 1900. Her mother told her that she was 2 years old when the census came. So that was 1900. So she wasn't for sure. But I appreciate her because she was on me. And that's what I needed at the time. I didn't understand it. And the way that we were raised, I didn't fit it. And so, you know, we got whoopings back then. And it was necessary. Because see, God has to do what is necessary, what is your necessary. And went to school. My mother said, "You finna take a trade." So I was so mad because my daddy was in California, and he had his own trucking business. So I said, "I'm gonna sign up for auto mechanics." They didn't choose me for that. I signed up for textile fabrication. They didn't choose me for that. They chose me, well, actually, it chose me, cosmetology. And that's what it was. And since I'm 18 years old, I got my license. And when I started off, my customers were 18, so you know that was a mess. And it was wonderful because I stayed in the business all this time. October 31st was 40 years for me. And I have 4 grown children, 2 girls and 2 boys. And I've also done things to make ends meet. I was working on the track RTA, flagging them RTA transit and stopping them transit. And That was hard, but it was good. I loved it out there because I could sing as loud as I wanted to while I was waiting for that transit to come down that track. I've done several things. I started catering, and we had to work hard, and we had like a work ethic. If you don't work, you don't eat. If you don't work, you will not get the things that you need. We started out with snipe. But we had to buy our school clothes with Snipe. But I thought that was a privilege because I got to pick out my school clothes. And that was important to me. And I always cared about my mother and my younger brothers, the ones that was, like everybody in the family. But to move it up to speed and not take up a whole lot of time, with the beautician part of my life, it's a ministry now. I'm behind the chair. One family, I've done 5 generations. God has blessed me. It is all about God. It is God. I can't do it without God. I've learned that through trial and error and mistake. I bring my Bible because when I get ready to tell you something, it's just that serious. Don't mess up the word. So if I don't know it off the top of my head, I will read it to you because I don't want no more whoopings. I'm done with it. We gave it up. And I look at this young lady, you're so beautiful. My daughter tell you, and right now when I'm speaking this to you, I always cry. That's a necessity. You feel it's okay. I done got to the fact that, see, when I cry, my face turn red and all of that. All the time, I can't hide it. And it's okay. We are alive and we are living. You are all beautiful women. It's an honor. Some of you all, the men, y'all looking good too. Okay. It's an honor to be here today. It is a privilege. I didn't know what I was gonna say, but Corretta Scott King with the National Action Network. I looked at this and I listened to her last night. She had her husband's death investigated in 1978. And the things that had already been revealed pointed toward the FBI having certain known, and if there was some conspiracy, they should have known who the people were that were involved because it was under constant surveillance. And she said, and I cannot believe that they would not have known about all the plots and all the people and where they were at various times. She ain't give up. I need a tissue. She didn't give up. And we can't give up, y'all. If you fight and you don't win, you win because you fought. There was some times that I was thinking, okay, y'all, bye. They ain't gonna ask me no more. but y'all, this is a beauty shop. And God is beautiful in our eyesight. And He is wonderful, glorious, He's holy, He's righteous, He's victorious, He's a conqueror, He's triumphant and mighty, He's a healer, He's deliverer, He's a shield and defense, He's a strong tower, and He's my best friend. He's omnipotent, omnipresent, He's a soon-coming King. He's Alpha, Omega, Lord of everything. He is holy. Treat Him like He holy.
Give it up for the panel. I just have one question I want them to answer. I want you to either what would you tell your younger self? Boo. And how would you encourage your older that's to come to continue? And pass it after you. I'm gonna give it time to me on there.
She's trying to make me cry some more. I would tell my younger self, just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the same thing for my older self as well. Always just keep going, no matter what.
I think I would tell my younger self, no matter how bad you feel, and no matter what the pressure is, no matter what you're going through, God is still there. And just believe His word when He said He'd never leave you nor forsake you.
I would tell my younger self, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And I say that to my older self, don't be afraid. Keep going.
I just wanted to say one thing. The reason I said that I represent the older group, I asked the Lord to allow me to see my grandchildren become adults. Guess what? They're adults. But God gave me something extra special. I have great grands, but He has allowed me to see. So
Amen.
God be the glory. It's still here.
And full swing too. Thank you all. Give them a hand as they take their seats. I appreciate everyone that's been up here on the program. I appreciate each and every one of you. And at this time, we are going to present to our honorees, Dr. Marcia McCoy. Would you come forward? You know, we have to encourage ourselves, right? We got to speak a word to myself. And hopefully, as I encourage myself, I can encourage you.